step on that battlefield, we fight for each other. Which is why it's so hard to give up that brotherhood. The only way out is right through it. I'm not gonna apologize for what I did.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Trendy TV Tuesday here on the Plot Strikes Back. I'm your host, Nick, and joining with me are my co-hosts. We've got Vex Electronica and Papa Pumpkin, aka the Gourd King. How are both of you doing tonight?
I'm great. I'm like a nice piece of cottage cheese bark.
Mm.
You know what?
Yeah.
Actually, don't diss it, because it does kind of taste like cheesecake almost. Like it's
A
pretty
little bit.
fucking good. Yeah,
Yeah,
the way I made it, at least.
we totally did not push the stream back 10 minutes just so I could finish eating my eggs, which therefore kind of talked about different versions of eggs and somehow included cottage cheese eggs, which I'm not a fan of, but you know, to each their own, as we've said. So, but yeah, I hope everyone out there is doing well. And if you're new here to the stream, do me a favor, hit that like button, share it, subscribe. It's all free. So, you know, it kind of helps me out and it supports the channel. But if you're a returning viewer, then I do appreciate you being here. And again, we've been covering the Terminalist series Dark Wolf. This is episode 6, the penultimate episode. It does not disappoint, entitled Pawns and Kings, I believe. Yeah, the Pawns and Kings. So it's a good episode. A step above last week's, I believe.
Yes.
So excited to look to get into this one with everyone. So yeah,
Grab your plate of dark wolf eggs.
Dark wolf, your dark wolf meat,
Yes.
not the turkey legs, but the dark wolf meat.
Yeah.
Talked about that last night, ironically, covering the Ghost in the Darkness. I like the drumsticks personally when it comes to Thanksgiving because I'm a drummer, but it's just not that I don't mind
You
going
like
for the
to eat
breasts,
'em and then use them.
but exactly. Oh, look, new replacements. But yeah, this episode is rather interesting from the remaining characters between Tal. Yeah, it's obviously following the death of Eliza from the prior episode. You know, seeing how Ben is kind of carrying on with the mission. Rafe is carrying on again with this guilt of killing an ally after torturing him, which we'll get into, of course, and then kind of just seeing more of the web of lies that Haverford has so eloquently spun and has fooled everyone, and that's just sort of the man he is. So rather mischievous, but. Before we kind of start going into these characters, what were your guys' like initial thoughts of this episode?
If I may, Gord,
You may.
initial thought was loved that we had Ben with no pants in the opening of this episode. I think already that elevated it quite a bit for me. That really churned my butter, so to speak. Okay. And then no, after that, solid episode. The setup, I think, is really good for the conspiracy. Because that starts to unfold, and then it kind of pushes the tension up for how like the big finale that we get in episode 7. Didn't care for Tall, did not care for Tall and what happened to her whatsoever. The highlight really was the tension between Rafe and Ben. I think finally just seeing that come to a head, and Rafe just finally just called Ben out on the shit that Ben has been pretty desperate to just push aside this whole time. So yeah, I thought it was a phenomenal episode. I know some people had some issues with it because Iran and Israel working together, that's not real. That's not real. My guy, it's a fucking show. It's not supposed to be real.
It's fictionary, yeah.
Right.
No one said this is based on a true story or like, you know, a non-fictional story. Like,
right.
It's all made up.
Even then, Iran and Israel have worked together in the past. So
Iran wasn't always run by Muslims. That's not
Yeah.
Right.
always how it's been. So,
Right.
I mean, like, I tend to agree that Tall and Away is kind of the weak link of the episode, at least her function. And I don't know if it's necessarily the fault of the way her character's written. I think that the scene with
It's a good point.
Haverford in, kind of I guess before interrogating the one guy before, he offs him and everything is, I think that scene really tips their hand that Haverford's the bad guy, because he's very clearly in complete control of the information that's coming out. And I was like, oh, okay, he's the bad guy. I was like, I've seen enough shows and I've seen enough movies to where it's like, I understand what's happening here. But so if you're a seasoned movie watcher, TV watcher, it's pretty obvious. So it kind of undermines Tal's function in the plot, because
Yeah.
her entire reason for being in this episode is to tell Ben later in the episode, he's the bad guy. He's working with these people. And it's like, well, I already know that. So I was like, I already think that's pretty obvious. So I don't know if it's necessarily like the fault of her character. It's more just, the way that whole thing is done.
A
But
weak
all
link
the
in the
same-
writing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, all the same though, it's still a really strong episode. It's still really fun. It's got some pretty cool moments. Some pretty one particular, probably one of the more brutal shots of the entire series with the hand. But
Yeah.
kind of seeing this this I don't know. Do we call it a downfall as far as Ben's concerned? I guess sort of, but it's kind of downfall mixed with disillusionment, I suppose. But
I would say like the darkness is really starting to
Mhm.
seep in more than anything. For like, this is kind of the realization, like the half realization, we'll say, of who he really is, because he has just been kind of running away from it the
Mhm.
entire season so far. And even to a certain extent in the main series, you see him also kind of running away from his past and his fault and all of that. So
Yeah.
I think he's finally coming to some terms with it, but it's not the terms that are necessary for him as a person. And the way that episode 7 ends, when we get there, I think it kind of cements that he would rather just keep running than have to do the hard work of facing himself.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's some key scenes in here that definitely span some good points for mainly Ben and Rafe. And I'm not a big fan of Tal's arc. I mean, I wasn't really a fan of her character to begin with. We kind of mentioned this in the previous episode, where I feel like you could have had a stronger note if you had maybe replaced Tal, just with a male actor.
Literally anything else you can do.
Yeah,
just take out the character altogether. Like, the character ultimately is pretty useless, because like at this point, all she's done is, oh, I have the communication thing for Haverford and what's his face. But that's something that anyone could have done. Like, Rafe could have done that for all
Right.
we know as well. So
yeah,
it just, ultimately, she's not a character that has contributed anything to both the narrative as well as character development.
yeah. It's almost like you could have used one of the main characters more, given them more screen time, right? Like, let's give.
Right.
I mean, give. I feel like you could have used
Give
Rafe
Rafe
to
and-
that.
Yeah, give like
know?
Rafe and Ben some more time together, maybe. Fill
Yeah.
in the gaps with maybe some more mission work, just to see how all of these characters come together. Build the relationship with Eliza a little bit more, since that becomes like such a turning point for Ben. Perhaps make the mystery of it all a little bit more convoluted, a little bit darker. Like, there's so many different avenues you could have taken it instead of using Tall.
Well, they don't develop her character very much. Like, she's kind of, I mean, you see when they first arrive at that facility, they introduce her. She's kind of the hacker character, and that is really all you get from her for the majority of the rest of the season. There is the
Mhm.
little encounter with her and the one dude where he tries to get all handsy with her and whatnot. But there is,
Landry.
yeah, it's like there's really nothing else to her. She's just hacker character, and so she's
Yeah.
basically a plot device. I mean, that's really kind of all she is. She's a plot device, and I get the utility of her character. I understand the need to have somebody looking through this information and all that. But I'm like, if you're not going to actually do anything with the character to make her interesting, I'm like, that's kind of dull. That's a little boring. And with somebody who has this type of a function, it would actually be really helpful to write her better or to give her role to somebody else, because when the moment comes that it gets confirmed that, yeah, Haverford's the bad guy, the first person you learn that through is basically the stand-in for the audience at that moment. So you need that to hit. And it really helps if you know that person, because it gives you a perspective that's not merely your own. And we don't really have that with her because she's literally just Hacker Girl. That's it.
Yeah, it would have been more pivotal had it come from Mo.
Yeah, like
Ben,
even when she reacts
like,
to, like even when she reacts to seeing the news and realizes that
she's alone
Lisa's
now.
dead,
Oh no!
Well, she's realizing that I guess her friend's dead. You kind of are like, oh yeah, I guess they were friends, but okay. That it's not really something they've ever built up at all. So you're just like, oh yeah, I guess she would be upset about that, but really haven't had much between them to make that mean anything.
Yeah, it's like you see her reaction, like she's obviously very, very startled about the news that she sees, and then obviously
she
confirmed about
and
it. But
you can tell she's on the verge of tears, and I'm like, okay, I get she's upset, but I'm like,
it wasn't built enough.
Anything to me, it's like I haven't seen a whole lot, so
no, for sure. Like it kind of just it to me, like this is one of the things that sort of fell through for her character again. Like going back to the last episode too. Imagine Landry or especially Rafe being the absolute like unit that he is, fighting that bigger guy at that point. It would have almost made a lot more sense to have an actual like pretty brutal physical brawl, right? Because that again, that's what really annoyed me about the last episode was this little tiny thing took out that big dude, which I'm sorry, it's just not.
Also, well, and not only that,
I know it's fiction still, but I could just even then, like the suspension of disbelief to me did not apply to that whole scene. So I feel like again, I would have rather almost have seen Landry, because Landry's a bit of a chunky guy too, but I feel like it would have been like kind of battle of the husky guys, right? So it would have been maybe more entertaining, kind of like a different heavyweight sort of. Bare knuckle brawl at that point, a wrestling match. And again, I think like it would have maybe almost fooled us to believe more in Landry as a character. Like, okay, maybe he's actually not that bad. Yeah, maybe he's a little bit of a creep. But again, for those of us who know what's coming in True Believer, having him find out so Vex, you know this. Imagine he fights the guy in the last episode. Like he's the one that discovers who the Sheppard is and is behind like Haverford's, behind this whole thing. It's not what it seems. And so you're like, oh man, like Landry's actually like coming through. He's now part of Charlie unit, or what's left, as Ben says. And by the end of the show, you're kind of just thinking, oh, maybe Landry actually did turn out to be a good guy. Psych.
I'm a little bit worried about the casting for Landry now that I've finished book 2. Like I would not have picked the Timu Hemsworth for that role. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I hope he delivers if they choose to go that route with him in Terminalist season 2. But now I'm just like, dang, like that's the way that he's described in the book, it's Chris Hemsworth,
right? So
not Timu Hemsworth.
That's why I'm wondering if he'll actually get in shape.
The shape isn't the issue. The man looks pint-sized. You can't change that.
I know. Maybe they'll just swap out. Hey, Chris, what are you doing? You done with the stupid ass Marvel? Cool. Hey, come join the Dark Wolf cast.
Don't cut off your roids yet. We need you on Prime.
God, could you imagine if Chris Hemsworth was in this show too? You'd have fucking Chris Pratt, and Tom Hopper, and Chris Hemsworth all in a show. That's
too much tea. It's too much tea for one show.
Too much tea, yeah. Way too much tea.
You can never have too much tea. I mean, too many roids, yeah, absolutely. At that point, you might have a heart attack. But yeah, I just who was it that said it here in chat? Waylon. Her character only exists so plot can happen. That's precisely it. Like she,
even there's kind of one of the weaknesses, even just of this story beat is okay. So clearly he had people after Ben and Liza,
That's
knowing
true.
that was kind of a weak link. If the person she goes after in Germany, or I guess, the information she goes after in Germany, would he not know about that and have somebody going after her too?
Sorry, explain that again. You confused me there.
Okay, so you remember, it's like, okay, you remember when the car bomb attack on Ben and Liza, right?
Right.
So obviously he had people there. Okay, it's like he solved that, he foresaw that step, right? Or
Yes.
whoever was that. Okay, why not this one with Tall?
That's a good question, man. That's a good fucking question.
I wonder if I mean, do you maybe think Haverford doesn't know about it? I mean, he has
Well,
to.
he knows she got away. I mean, he knows she got away, so it's like you would think there would at least like even a mention of we still need to find her. Like there's nothing about her, and I'd be like, if I'm him, she's somebody I'm really concerned about because she's somebody who can extract information. She's a
Right.
hacker, and
Well,
there's not even really a mention from him regarding her.
Was it this episode that he finds out that Tall hacked his phone, or was that last episode?
That was episode 4.
That was the end.
Or
Yeah,
3.
that was
End
the
of
end
3.
Well, no, she
His
hacked his phone. Yeah, he found that after like
End of 3 because that's
it was the end of 4, wasn't it?
Or is it a
That was the end of
4?
4. I think it was the end of
I
4.
thought I thought it was a
It
little
was
bit
end of
later
4.
than that.
Yeah. It was.
Okay.
It was the end of 4. That's right. Yeah, end
Yes.
of 3 was Ben killing the dude on the train.
So, like, knowing that information alone, I agree. Like, why is Tall just given a complete free ride in the narrative when Haverford is? Because, like, I understand that Haverford is playing it close to the chest because even when Ben kind of confronts him, or sorry, no, Rafe, when Rafe turns him into the CIA, it's just like he's just cool as a cucumber. Like, he's just like, you're gonna believe this shit, like, because he knows that he's got authority and he's got experience behind him and he's got connections behind him, but. Yeah, Tall's a nobody. Like, nobody would really care about her. Even her mission control in this episode doesn't give a shit about her. Right. Yep. So I'm also confused why she's given so much. And the fact that she gets so fucking close to Haverford later on, too, is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And again, like, she is this hacker character, which, I mean,
that's a big deal when you see all these guys having burner phones just to do this deal and shit.
Right. Yeah. So, like, in some cases, I do think this was, you could have completely removed this and spent more time on the other characters, especially the main cast. Like, I would have much rather seen more of Mo. Absolutely. Yep. Ben and Rafe, because up to this point, you're like, man, they're so great together. They're great individually, right? I mean, you could have explored even more of what Rafe is thinking and goes through in between him dropping off the German ally at the church to when he just shows up back in Stein, Germany. And I love how he's, I know we're just kind of focusing on Tal because it's just such like a vast difference between his character and the way he's written compared to her, because it's like, even in this moment, cool, this is our reveal, or the reveal to the audience, like that it's the guy's brother who was really the Sheppard, and it's like she's the one that delivers this information. Like, it's such a
this is where having a character matters.
Right. Yeah. And like, we're at a point in the show here, because I don't know if you guys kind of notice this too, but like throughout, like there's in the middle of the show a little bit, we kind of lose the focus on Ben, and we also kind of lose the focus on Rafe. So now these two characters that kind of really set up the premise and the themes and the overall like tones and just story motivations.
Yeah.
They get kind of lost in the sauce with all these other characters and things going on. So for Rafe especially, I think if you just made him the hacker, or even you could have done more with Mo, but I don't think it's necessary because this is really just a Ben and a Rafe story at the core of it. So give that time to Rafe. Like, yeah, he's got the whole German guy, but he's a smart fucking guy. He can probably figure out the computer hacking, and you can also work in some more cool action scenes too, because he is such an absolute unit, and he actually brings some sort of threat to the screen. Like, shit's gonna hit the fan if he's like fist to fist with someone. So
and I think because of even like just talking about the title, with pawns and kings, and I know Ben says even a pawn could take out a king, but like this moment here that is funneled, this information that is funneled to Ben so that, he knows and can use that line effectively. It's like Tal becomes the harbinger of Haverford's fall. And I'm like,
Right.
I don't like that. Like,
That doesn't make
Well,
sense at all.
to me,
Yeah.
like the avenue, if I'm doing this, the avenue I'm taking is, to me, like one of the biggest flubs, like right out, like that was very obvious when it occurred was, okay, so you have Liza turn on Ben, and that's resolved very quickly, and then she dies, and I'm like, that should have been, they should have kept that momentum for that. It's like, to me, it's like what you do is you have her go away, and I guess her and Tal, like they're the ones trying to uncover this information, and they're in, Haverford's in pursuit of both of them, and I think Ben being torn while apart from her would, make a lot of sense. I think that would be really good. It's like, okay, because you kind of put him back on Haverford's side, and he's, a bit, heartbroken, I guess, in a sense, but the fact that she turned on him, but all the while she's working to actually give him the truth and everything.
Yeah.
And then you kill her, but she gets the right information to him in time and everything. And that I think that would have really hit. I think that could have really hit. Because it's like, oh, she wasn't betraying me this whole time. Oh, and this guy was. So I think the emotional beat of that works really well. And you also have the added benefit of keeping Rafe and Ben together on the same side. Like Rafe's trying to keep him balanced, keep him in check, and maybe he's got his own suspicions that he's working on. It's like, there's a lot more I think you can do if you keep Liza alive, but apart from them.
Right. Yeah, because
she's at least a character. She is at least a character.
She is. Not a favorable one in my opinion, but
I don't dislike her. I think that when you killed her as quick as you do, it's like, oh, okay, well,
the point is lost, especially when the
Right.
buildup was over so many episodes, and it was pretty clear like what she was going to be to Ben. And yeah, I agree with you, Gord. Like that whole resolution, it was way too quick. Her death was way too quick. This is like if you took Tal out of this fucking equation, you could have spent more time on that relationship.
Right. Like I feel like maybe the reverse should have happened. Tal should have been eliminated last episode, and then Eliza at least makes it to episode 6 and maybe somehow dies in the process within this episode.
I mean, you can technically keep Tal, but then you don't have to worry about developing her too much if you just make it about her and Liza are the ones uncovering this information, and Liza's the one kind of hoping to relay this to Ben when she can, so he knows the truth and everything. But it's like because like I understand the necessity of having one character as a hacker, one's kind of in the line of fire with him. I get that, but if you're not going to develop Tal into much of a character, it's like, well, then I kind of feel like you have to keep Liza alive, because that reveal of Haverford needs to mean something, and you kind of need to first see it through the eyes of somebody who matters, and Tal's just not that person.
Yeah, and I think like we've been mentioning it every episode so far, and talking about payoffs, because most of the time there are a fair amount of payoffs from an episodic basis, but based on how this episode ends, which no spoilers, and we'll talk about next week, of course, it is looking at what the payoff might be for certain characters, because you don't see certain characters next episode. And I think at that point too, if you're maybe wondering, where does Tal fit in the scheme of things after this season? I don't know if there's going to be another a payoff for her character or not. So again, like we don't know if there's a season 2 coming for Dark Wolf. I figure there probably will be, because there is still a time gap between this season and this season, first season of Terminalist. So
then we left off on a bit of a cliffhanger for this.
Right. So again, like maybe there will be some returning characters from this season that appear in Dark Wolf season 2. Again, like it is highly possible that I want to say there was a tweet I saw, like a post I saw from Jack Carr himself that said, and I think I might have even posted it in my Discord too, that like everything has a connection, or everything has some sort of like payoff. So, I want to say and think that he, Jack Carr is playing the long game with these characters in this show, Granted, only he kind of knows what he's doing again. I mean, I actually just got my hardcover version of Cry Havoc, which
Nice.
I really hope they turn that into a TV series because our prequel, an actual prequel show. So that'd be really really rad to talk about eventually. But yeah, it's I don't know, like
I think we are getting the JCU, so to speak, the John Carr universe, right? The Jack Carr universe,
Jack
right?
Carr universe.
I agree with just real quick. I agree with Roman. A Mo backstory series would be gold. I think that's kind of what they're more or less trying to do, like because the success for the show has been so good, and the book sales kind of skyrocketed after the first season. On top of that, and Jack Carr is a notable figure across social media and all that stuff. So I think like for them to introduce Mo as a character at this point, just like for a small scene, because he doesn't really have a presence in this show yet. I think that's kind of indicative of them wanting to do more with the character, in my opinion, at least. Because also, why else introduce Rafe here? Because Rafe isn't really, at least if we're going by the books, he's not a big character at this point for this character at all. So and oh god, a Rafe backstory series would be fucking wild. That would. Oh my god! Like that would be that would be a genuine 10 out of 10. That one.
Oh yeah, that
balls to the wall action the entire time. That's all it would be.
Yeah, I mean, would you want to see like young Rafe again, like him growing up as a boy on the game preserve?
Right, because like for him, it's like the whole deal is like his family comes from Rhodesia. They had a lot of issues because of all of like the civil and political issues going on there. So they kind of got pushed out of the country. Then his dad has issues with the CIA. Rafe has issues with the CIA, and that's led to some whole other like geopolitical spy shit as well. So this would literally just be like James Bond meets like a cool version of Kraven the Hunter meets the Ghost in the Darkness, essentially.
Yeah,
like that's all we would get, and then maybe we'll throw in like a little bit of like platoon style action.
In my head canon, his voice is exactly the same, even from his first word.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's like you just have like current age Tom Hopper narrating as a kid, or speaking the same way, that same style tone, just that low.
I was 10.
I was 10. Uncle, I shot him in the head.
The one other, I guess, kind of plot issue that I sort of had with this episode was, so on the terminal, I'm curious why Haverford didn't have them taken out. Because once those bearings pass, you got to figure they're like, because they give each other look like they passed. What the heck? Did we just arm them? If I'm Haverford, I'm having them taken out. They're loose ends at this point.
You haven't watched the next episode yet, right, Gord?
I've only started, so no. So
okay. So I mean, it's kind of explained why Haverford doesn't do what he does in the next episode, but it doesn't still solve the issue with Tall. Like the issue with Tall is still a genuine plot problem.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I am surprised that she wasn't taken out as well. You'll take out Elisa, but you won't take out Tal, right? You know she hacked your phone. You know what her intentions are, and yet nothing is done about it. Like you can expect, you've been in this, this business, this line of work for 20 years now. You would have some sort of inkling that, oh, she might go and try to access the portal, try to steal it, hack it, right? Why not send some extra help there? Just set a trap for her, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, or make her think like she's going to get away, so you can confirm what her intentions were, and then boom, black bagger disappears, right? Something along those lines where, again, you can kind of create more of a rift. But yeah, I don't know. It is weird. Like did Haverford just say, that's okay, don't worry about it, she's not going to be a problem, because I already know that Ben is going to be doing what she's doing, and then the Sheppard was killed, and obviously that kind of says nope, she wasn't, or no, he wasn't. But yeah, not super a fan of how that played out with her, because again, I think her character could be, her removed, screen time applied to someone like this handsome fella here who shows up at the church, which very very touching. It's really interesting, this sort of feeling that Rafe has. You know,
Kind of giving him a last rites.
yeah,
Before he leaves. Yeah.
you know, and I'm you know, Gordon, I'm sure you probably might have thought this too, is like, you know, he was cleaning his feet and like him looking at the cross and having
Yep.
that same correlation to Jesus. And I'm just like, huh,
Yeah,
okay.
like I was like, you could take this. I mean, to me, it's like this is kind of two things at once. It's like on the one hand, it's like I do think he's giving this man his last rites in a sense, but also
Yeah.
asking forgiveness. He's
100% that guilt
Yeah.
that you definitely hear in his voice, his reflections when he's talking to Ben, especially, you know, in this moment, it's just, it's like a nice, yeah, this moment here, it's just like this, like, you know, forgiveness, holy, you know, light coming through with the cross and the rays. I mean, I like the shot. But
That's a great shot.
It definitely speaks more to Rafe's character, which I really appreciate. Again, just give us more Rafe. Tom Hopper does such a phenomenal job in the show that
Right.
like, we're almost robbed by not seeing more of him. I know the focus is mainly on Ben Edwards, but his character is so pivotal. And the fact that when a show does this really well, you want to see more of it. And, you know,
Well, he's the moral center of the show.
yeah,
He is.
Yeah.
he's such a strong moral compass that it's like, okay, we have a character that we really, really like. More, please, you know. But it is interesting to for him to have this. I called it a come to Jesus moment. But I don't know if he was ever like really religious prior to this point either, or if this is just in this moment he has this feeling, right? Like,
I think this is just
Maybe?
more. I feel like this is just more indicative of like the type of person Rafe is. So it's not necessarily that he is religious. It's just that he is a good person and he doesn't know how to reckon with what he's done versus who he cares for and what he should stand by versus what he's kind of set his life up for. And it's just one of those moments where else can I turn to? Like, what has life taught me that I can turn to in moments like these? And this is just like one of those things where like, oh, there's a church here. I guess, you know, if I can't help myself and if my team can't help me anymore, I guess God's really all that's left that I can talk to. So it's nice. It shows the innocence, not innocence, but like the strong moral foundation I think Rafe has, that he can turn to
that moral
religion rather
code,
than
yeah.
turning
Well,
rather than
it kind
turning
of
to
reminds me of
battle.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me. There's that saying, you know, you'll never find an atheist in a foxhole, and obviously this guy's probably been in a lot of foxholes. So I don't have any
Hello.
trouble. You just had to take it there, didn't you?
I did.
A foxy hole.
That's not what I'm talking about. But anyway, but obviously, you know, he's been in a lot of difficult situations. So I don't have much difficulty believing he might himself be a believer of some sort. I probably not, you know, dogmatically religious or anything like that.
Sure.
But I think this. I mean, this is a pretty pointed shot. So it clearly is an appeal to God in some way, shape, or form. I think at the very least we know on behalf of the German fellow who died, but also probably looking for guidance and and the way it kind of. I think there's a nice bit of bookending here because, you know, you have this shot where, you know, the symbol of the cross and the light coming down is kind of looking down to him. And then he ends the episode kind of looking down on Ben, kind of watching over him. So I think in a way they're kind of bookending that shot with what he does at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, he's definitely grappling with his actions, right? And these are the consequences, the like remorse he's feeling, right? It's like regret too, because he has, you know, shattered part of that moral code that he's probably kept his entire life, especially while he was in the troops, like, or in the
Plus,
team.
Rhodesia is a pretty religious nation,
right? Yeah. So I'm sure this speaks more to his backstory. So I feel like the emphasis of this scene too, if we ever get a Rafe season, you know, solely about his backstory, you know, we could see something similar to this that would coincide for this season later, and go, oh, actually, yeah, in the backstory, we see him as a child or what he kind of grows up, in Rhodesia. And then based on how his upbringing was, this makes sense in Darkwool season 1 when he drops off the German ally at the church, right? So, there'd be some great ways to tie it all together at that point. But what were you going to say, Vex?
Could you just go back to the shot in the church where he's looking at the cross with the light?
Yes.
I mean, this kind of also mirrors the intro of the show, right? Because we see Ben go from light to dark, and now we see Rafe coming out of the darkness into the light. So you can see they're kind of a yin and yang in that respect, maybe.
True.
Yin yang that foxhole.
Oh! Oh!
What's up, Salty? How you doing, bud?
That's not something that we should answer or discuss when looking at an image of the cross.
You did it first.
I would pay extra for a race season. He was my second favorite character, but also a top tier character. Yeah,
Also,
I agree, Roman.
Nothing.
Repent! I don't have that clip.
I was actually looking at something else when I said that anyway. So when I clicked back, I was like, oh yeah, there is that.
Yeah, look at his arms. There you go.
Yeah, they're huge.
He's got good tricep muscles.
Right.
Fucking unit, man. An absolute unit. Good
That's
Lord.
the other thing is even if we do the child backstory, he's always going to be huge. Like he's born like 6'5".
I was born with a six-pack.
I was born in a log cabin I built with my own 2 hands.
I was born with a beard too. Born with facial hair. He's like 7, full beard already.
Right.
I left my
How
I
old
left
are
my
you?
I left my mother's womb
7.
because I smelled a caribou. And I
Oh,
I don't know
gosh.
why I picked caribou.
Very specific.
It's
I forgot
very
what.
specific.
Yeah, I forgot what animals he was talking about in the torture scene, but yeah. A bit of a throwback of him thinking about the compass that was given to him. That is James's Reeser's father, right? And like this being such a timeless artifact, right? And like what it really means, and I do think just looking at something like this is a reminder for multiple reasons. It's not so much a reminder of like who gave it to you and whose it was, but it's sort of about what both of those people stood for, what they
Right.
went through, what their missions were, what their beliefs were, like why they did what they did, and what they're doing isn't what Rafe especially has set out to do here. And it's, I mean, obviously he doesn't really know what's been going on with Ben, but once he finds out, it's like everything that he's thought about, in this time of solitude, and again with his actions and consequences, it is enough time for him to reflect and sort of like clear his mind, right? And I love
Also-
that part where he's like,
it's a compass, so he's looking for direction.
always points north, right?
Yeah.
Is he looking for that North Star?
I kind
Um,
of just saw this as Rafe doesn't know where to fucking go now, man.
Well, that
Like,
too.
it's-
Yeah.
That's really all it is.
sense of
'cause, like,
direction.
yeah, like him and James have like a really deep backstory, and it goes back like decades, and their families are pretty closely intertwined on top of that. So first of all, for Reeser to give him that watch from his father, that is already a big deal. But now it's just like, I don't know what's left. Like I've given up the life that I've kind of like cultivated. I've given up my purpose. I don't have my brothers with me anymore. I don't even know where my brothers are anymore.
Exactly,
because-
Zax.
So it's just, what does hulking Rafe do?
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Vex, and I definitely I agree with you there.
Hunt those caribou.
I don't think there's caribou in South Africa. I think it's
Not
like
anymore. Not anymore.
by age 10, he's hunted and killed them all before the lions did. Naming himself Rafe Hastings, the
Terminalist
ultimate
dark
apex predator.
No,
I-
zero dark caribou.
Zero dark caribou. Wow.
Gotta kill them all.
Love the conversation here between the two of
Yeah.
them. It is some well-written dialogue. And I particularly love the moment where Ben insults him. It's like, so this is what happens, like, or this is where the great Rafe Hastings, turns
So I never thought.
turns
I
around. Never
think
thought
of
I'd see the
Rafe
day.
Hastings.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you just see the look on his face. And I think I have a shot of him of that later. But he's like, "I'm going to let that one slide," or like, "I'm going to let that one go." The way he just calmly says it, I'm like, I feel like he could probably rip Ben's fucking arms off like a Wookiee, at that point. But he chooses not to remain calm in that moment because it's like he knows Ben's not thinking clearly, and
Because I've seen. That it's a line we've seen before in other things. I
yeah,
think the first instance I can recall. It's weird because this is what you get for seeing movies with your mom. I think the first time I saw a line like this was Legends of the Fall, where they were arguing over a woman, and Brad Pitt said that to his brother. He says, he goes, "Because you love such and such, I'll let you get away with that once, but if you say it again, we're not brothers." Which interesting. That's not actually a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. It's just it is kind of a chick flick war movie in a way. But that's the first place I can remember hearing that line. So it kind of did remind me of that. And I've heard other instances of lines like that where it's like, okay, I'm gonna let that one go, but only that one, because like you said, he's not in the right state of mind and everything. And this is, to me, this is what I wanted more of, is this
Yes.
kind of moral tug of war between them.
yeah,
That's the one thing. It's like, if I'm in charge of the show and I'm trying to make it better, I'm going to add some more time with these two having this kind of discussion.
yeah. Because you see the truth, and obviously it makes sense from what Rafe is telling him, like, about the job that they sent out to do. That this isn't it, brother. Like, you've lost your way of thinking, and it's like you're chasing. I think it was he quotes either his father. I think it was his father, right? Because my father told me that men chase like the war from within, not the war on the outside, right? Like, they're not trying to go after the enemy that's in front of them, but the enemy that's with inside that man, and that's what they're dealing with, that sort of rage. And I get it. Ben's been through quite a bit. He even now he's probably still holding on to that partial betrayal from Eliza, but even from what happened in the teams, right? From getting his trident removed, being in this position, being divorced for a third time, but again, I agree with Rafe. Like, this is not what they set out to do. I think it's kind of hard to argue against that, really.
Mm-hmm.
And it does, even though Ben's like, I've never thought, more clear than I ever have in this moment, like, which again is one of those interesting realizations from Ben, or about Ben, and Ben's transformation, about him kind of being this being the chief in the teams, being a protector, of avenging his friend's death in the first episode, to now just kind of being this almost full on like rogue operator because of or at least by the end of this episode, he definitely becomes more of a rogue operator. And if you've watched The Terminalist, you kind of understand more about this part. Like, this is sort of how it kind of starts to seep in, and he is starting to be more a little bit like Haverford, or maybe what Haverford would have been had he not been such a shady POS, but more just on like Rafe here. Like, I think his whole departure in this, again, from the dialogue and the conversation that he's having here, like, Ben thinks of it that this is a defeat. Like, I never thought I'd see Rafe, what's the phrase go, like, tuck tail and leave, or whatever it is. But it's a strength. It's not a strength for Rafe, he is choosing this. He is choosing the truth. And again, he's had enough time to think about everything. And he has this realization he doesn't need to be here anymore. It's time to go and do his own thing. Because this isn't about like this blind loyalty to Haverford and Charlie unit, right? Because this isn't what he wanted to do in the first place. This isn't about like self-survival, right? Even from that conversation that he had with his dad on the phone in the Germany airport, right? Like the Hastings will always survive. The Hastings will find a way. Again, I know I'm paraphrasing here, but they'll carry on, right? They won't go down without a fight. So Rafe probably knows this isn't the end. He'll figure out what to do next, because this ain't it, right? So,
we know he knows that.
Yeah, and I think this
later.
just emphasizes like that. I think he is like the moral hero here, and I feel like by him walking away, Ben does feel like he's been let down a bit. Like you're my brother, So like what? It's like what does that mean for the sake of the brotherhood? Like and he says like long live the brotherhood. Like you're walking out on me here, but it's like, or did Ben walk out on Rafe by choosing to stay here? Because now, like the fact that both of their paths have, like, there's like a divergence, right? So their brotherhood is completely fractured based on how tight it was in episode 2, right? When they're going down the streets, they're at the club. It's like teamwork. It's seamless. Now, this 2-man unit is completely broken. So it is really interesting the decisions that both of them have made here, like in their identities and their agencies, because they aren't kings, right? They're essentially pawns in the game. But Rafe doesn't like being a pawn. He likes being that white knight, perhaps. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I mean I pretty much agree with that.
Yeah.
Man, I think you kind of said it all there.
Yeah, so I went on a little.
You didn't leave much room.
Rant though.
Yeah. You're good, bro. You're good.
You wiped out the caribou of discussion.
Wait, where's that? I saw that. Here we go. Global warming got rid of the caribou.
Global warming's nickname is Rafe.
My name is Global Warming. Rafe. Global Warming Hastings. But yeah, dude, he's so fucking ripped. I just need to point that out as well. I felt like Rafe in the gym. I think it was Saturday. I was doing arms, and I was like, man, look how vascular my arms are. I feel like I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, yeah, I got a nice tight shirt on, and just like got the pump going through me, and I'm like, I'm just not 6'5" though, so that's
or blonde
or
Rhodesian.
Maybe I could maybe I might be able to pull off an accent, from time to time, but yeah.
You know what you gotta do? You gotta find those caribou. You gotta start eating, start hunting. That's where it is.
I have to be one with the caribou and drink their blood.
Yes, that's how you do it.
Guys, okay, so maybe that's what I'll be for Halloween next year. I'm just gonna
Rafe.
be Rafe Hastings. I'm gonna dye my hair blonde, my beard blonde.
Get a t-shirt that's 2 sizes too small.
Yeah, a small t-shirt. Get really strict diet, caloric deficit.
Get a stuffed caribou just to throw over your shoulder.
Around my neck and my shoulder. I got to practice the accent down.
You could go kind of Red Dead 2 and wear the stuffed part of its head like a skin hat, like with the It's like, this is my real costume. Everyone's like, yeah, I've seen Terminals. What's the caribou thing? That'd be the best part. I see Rafe. It's like I see Rafe 80% of it, but what the heck is on your head?
Rhodesian bush war.
This is the caribou he hunted when he was 5.
Yeah, I kept it as a trophy.
I don't
this
remember
entire
that
time.
part of the show. It's there.
It was a deleted scene, but I found it. Yeah, and I love even at the end how Rafe is just watching the entire time, like
Mm-hmm.
because again, when he was 5 years old and hunting caribou this way, like he just knows how to stalk from the bushes. Like
Exactly.
so, I've had 30 years of practice, mate. Which is
Will
also
not
kind
be-
of scary. It's I mean, and it's I'd say very masculine, but also like kind of scary in a good way. Because I mean, like boom, just taken out, right? Like it's like I wonder if he would have taken them out himself had been just driven away, right?
Mhm.
Sort of like, well, we left. What are you talking about, Haverford? Like, they're all dead in the plane, I mean, hey, well, someone had to do it. Who's the remaining denominator there? It might be Rafe. So I don't know. Could have had a different effect on the way things played out, of course, and no spoilers, but I do like this scene here and just showing that Rafe was sort of guardian angel isn't the correct terminology or metaphor.
I don't know. I actually
It's
think
like,
that's kind of correct, though.
you think?
Because to me, that's well, yeah. Because I think, okay, he's looking at what Ben's doing. It's like you're fighting the wrong fight. The fight that Rafe's fighting is he's protecting his brothers.
Yeah,
That's
Right.
what he's doing.
he
So
still
he is
hasn't
kind of being-
left
Yeah,
fully.
he's being the guardian angel. He's like, look, I don't
Mm.
agree with what you're all doing right now. I'm going to make sure I protect you all. I kind of do think guardian angel's kind of appropriate.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like he hasn't fully, based on that conversation. Again, maybe this kind of goes back to like the reflections that he's taken in and thought, I can't give up on him just yet. I know he's not thinking right, but maybe he did the right thing here. But I just make sure he, number one, lives to see another day, but does the right thing and doesn't falter here. And sure enough, it's like, yeah, I don't need to fire a shot. Because he did do the right thing. What he does after this point, well, we'll kind of wait and see. But yeah, that's okay. Glad we can agree on that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I don't know if I had that shot of like him just looking at Ben, and then just kind of putting the rifle down and then going home or going somewhere. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, great arc for Rafe in this episode. Really enjoyed it. And just emphasizing what kind of actor that Tom Hopper is in this role, but also what kind of character has been written for Rafe Hastings. And I really do hope that we get some sort of, I don't know, one season spinoff of a Rafe Hastings background, and because I think we need it. I think we need
Yeah.
it. I want to put this
I
out
feel like
there.
we've already even given them a premise. I mean, come on.
Absolutely. Roman says, I want to throw this out there. Ben's hair is too long by about a year. In county, they have loose regs, but before and in transit, you got to be in regs. I love that Rafe did an Overwatch on this. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Now we're going to talk about probably one of Vex's favorite moments here in the show concerning Taylor Kitsch and taking off his pants. So, yeah, and this is right after the car bombing and him escaping, right, and just doing some patch up work, which I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if you've ever had to use glue to patch up a wound before. There's one
Once.
time I did,
Once.
and it was rather interesting. Have you guys ever had to use glue to seal up a wound before?
Somewhat recently, actually, yeah. We have,
Really?
yeah, we have that at my workplace because we work with a lot of like sharp metal. So cuts and nicks are pretty common. So yeah, I had that happen. I guess it was a few months ago, but not too long. But yeah, went to our little medical box, got some glue and a band-aid, and I just glued that right up. And I was like, oh, okay. I haven't done that way before. I always thought this was just something you did in the movies. They're like, no, we've got that kind of glue for you. It's
Yeah.
like, neat. But it didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say it's like it didn't hurt really, but it was irritating. It was really irritating.
Yep. Yeah, it was when I was 19 and I was bar bagging at the time and it was like during season, so it was like just rushing, kind of running back and forth in the restaurant and business, and I'm taking out some trash bags and they're just filled with bottles, right? So it's like something bound to be broken in there, and I was lifting up some like 2 trash bags out of the garbage cans, and it was like just throwing them over into the dumpster, and at one point I kind of felt like some water was running down my arm. Didn't really think much of it because I'm like, God, back and go back inside. And the sous chef was out back having a smoke, and he was like, my brother, you bleeding, dog? And I was like,
Oof.
what? And he goes, your arm. You better get that checked out. And I look down, I just see blood, like pouring down my arm. I don't know if like I can maybe let me try to zoom in on myself here. Hold on. It's like right. Might be kinda hard to see.
Oh.
It's like right here.
Oh yeah, we
Um,
see it. We see the
yeah.
little dent there. Yep.
Yeah. So went back inside, and of course I had like a rag, and I kind of put it over my my elbow, and of course it's like right on the what do we call it, the weenus, right? So it's like a lot of flesh, and so I'm like covering it up. I'm like, this is gonna suck because no matter how I move my arm, like it's just gonna start to like open more. So I was kind of trying to keep my arm as straight as possible, and one of like the more like senior managers there was like, what was his name? JB. I was like, hey JB, I know it wasn't him, it was someone else. I was like, hey man, I think I need to go to the hospital, and he's like, why? And I just like removed my hand, and he's like, yep, all right, get in my car, I'll take you to the hospital, and he's like, oh, I need to do, like, before, actually, let's try and like, patch it up. So we go up like to the office, and he's looking like for some butterflies, and like he's like, nah, I don't have any butterflies. And he goes, oh, right, well, this is gonna have to do. And he takes out a glue, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, you put glue in my elbow? He's like, yeah, it's like surgical glue. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he's like, I put my arm down like this, kind of like on the table, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna squeeze the glue into the wound, and you press it together. Of course, it was tender as all hell, and there's just blood going everywhere too. So and then just holding it there, like squeezing it too. I was like biting the hell out of my lip. He's like, there's a pencil if you want to bite down on it. And I was like, nah, I'll just stick it out. Because also just very intrigued by what was happening. So then we let it dry up a bit and like seal, which it did. I was kind of surprised, but it definitely felt really, really weird at the same time, because by the time we got to the hospital, then it was like, okay, so we need to clean this up a bit. So they actually had to like, slice it. I mean, they numbed it, of course, but they had to cut it open a bit. And then they just like stitched it up and then put more glue over it, and then they gauzed it up. But man, that was a tough area, because I couldn't use my arm, so I couldn't work, couldn't play drums, couldn't really do much. So it kind of was interesting, but man, it is a solution though. So but I mean, granted, in this scene, what Ben has lodged in his thigh here, and it definitely seems a lot more punishing than what I had to endure. So no wounds like this ever, Vex?
No, I've never had to glue anything, never had a broken bone or anything like that. So I've been pretty, I mean, no external things, but I've had a lot of internal issues. So
bleeding like a caribou.
You
I ain't got time to bleed.
Need some Cara glue. That impotent rim shot that came after.
I heard it.
Did you hear that?
I did, yes.
Good.
It was like whoever did it dropped their drumsticks.
And I thought my jokes were bad. Yeah. Anyway, getting back
I'm really
to-
glad that while you were telling that story, we just got to look at his crotch this entire time. So
Honestly, I wanted
thank
to
you
pause
for
it at a good moment. Yeah. And there's obviously several of those moments here that is.
I like that Vex is not remotely deterred by the fact that he has this giant piece of like shrapnel sticking out of his leg. That's
that
no
just makes it better for me, in all honesty. Like,
I'm sure she would have liked to have removed it and then cleaned his wound.
let's not go there.
This is a better shot.
We've already had the foxhole discussion.
Which this is some cool
Good effects.
Good effects, yeah.
Prosthetics, yeah.
Yeah, good prosthetics. Seems
Looks
real
nice
enough.
and painful.
Yeah. I like how he just decides to just drink some alcohol.
They found Blue Collar's brand.
Yeah. Blue like 70%. I mean, yeah, this is really not much. I mean, it's fine. Like, but like, yeah, I'll drink half a bottle of this on stream.
I
I'll be
just like
fine
the
next
idea
day.
that it's like, what kind of alcohol do you drink? What do you mean? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, what do you? It's alcohol. Just says
Wouldn't-
alcohol.
Blue's like
Wouldn't
70%.
Yeah, wouldn't 70% like kill you if you were to like ingest a normal amount of that?
Not blue.
No, I mean, well, not. I mean, if you drink a lot of it, it could. I mean,
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can survive. I mean, it's like he doesn't take a big drink of it, but you definitely wouldn't want to down that whole bottle.
No. Yeah. Like that's. I mean, he takes a little sip of it. Like a swig, if you will, and then proceeds to pour it all over. Which, man, I'm sure that sucked. Which, I mean, you can get the sense of pain by him doing it just by Taylor Kish's acting response, but I mean, it's here's the glue. And Waylon says you've drunk 70% for how much?
I mean, there's moonshine out there where you can actually get like 95% by volume moonshine. That is a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
It's basically jet fuel.
I'm trying to think of what the highest proof I've ever had is. I have some wild turkey 101 right now in my decanter. Everclear's 90. Yeah, I have had some crazy ass moonshine though, like homemade moonshine here in Florida, and I could swear I was just drinking straight up alcohol, like rubbing alcohol before, and I'm just like, my insides are on fire right now. Like I remember I could feel all of my intestines, like as the alcohol was just going through it. I think I also remember at the same time I actually had gator tail too. Ironically, because weird times in Florida, let me tell you. There's a nice little.
You're worried, like it's the kind of thing. It's like you're worried that if you snap your fingers, it'll spark and you'll explode because it's just that high proof. Like I've had like a homemade type of moonshine. It wasn't especially strong. Now, honestly, it wasn't even all that good, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, I've had decent moonshine before and everything, but never anything. Like I think the highest I've probably ever tried was maybe 55-60%. I've never gone anything like really hardcore, like, the type you just drank.
Yeah. Stein, Germany. Stein doesn't mean Stein like you're drinking from a Stein. So does it mean like cup Germany?
Could.
Maybe. I don't know. Rafe, watching again the Stalker,
Mm-hmm.
the apex predator, which I think is interesting too. Him kind of wondering what is happening in that very moment where he makes his entrance, which we'll see here as well. But I think for Ben, seeing them have successfully made it out of that ambush right from episode 4, right? So he hasn't seen them and hasn't had contact with them in some time, right? So I'm sure he's relieved that they're okay, but to what capacity, right?
This guy honestly should play a dwarf in like Lord of the Rings.
Look, yeah, he's too small and threatening, like unthreatening to be what he's supposed to be. Now that I know the backstory, this feels like a complete miscast, an absolute miscast.
I mean, he's shorter than the fridge in the shot. He's not even. It's like that fridge is a little taller than him, or whatever is stacked there. Maybe it's not a fridge. It looked like a fridge for a second.
He kind of reminds me of like Sean Astin in 50 First Dates.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Sean Astin,
a little bit.
Oh no. This is a terrible terrible casting choice.
How tall is he? Hang on.
Sean Astin?
Luke Hemsworth. Okay. The internet says he's 5'9".
I don't buy it.
I can believe that. I could believe that.
Maybe with shoes on.
Yeah, with shoes on, I could believe that.
With shoes on. compared to Liam and Chris, who are like 6'3". So I mean he's the
I mean, it's weird that you stand
one,
out when you don't stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I say Chris Hemsworth just turned 42 this year. Luke is 45, and then Liam.
I think Liam's only like 34, 35.
He's 35.
Mm-hmm.
No, so Chris is the middle one. So man, it looks like those tall genes went to Chris and Liam and just skipped over
the other two. Yep.
Oh yeah, hang on. Hold on. Can I pull this picture up?
Like imagine being born like you're the older brother, but then like your other two brothers come along and they are way bigger than you, and you're like, screw you all.
And more handsome on top of that.
Yeah.
Can I up? Oh, let me.
I mean, he's probably a little bit better of an actor than Liam, at least, but still.
You know what? I will not stand for this Liam Hemsworth slander. He's a pretty competent actor if you give him a chance. I think he's he's one of the underrated Hemsworths. His Miley Cyrus fixation got the best of him, okay?
I mean, here's the height difference between the three brothers. So
God damn, that poor dude. I would not want to be standing next to those two. Oh god. Diamond Cole.
His last name should just be Hems.
Hems, not worth.
He's worth less.
And 5'9" in Hollywood is 5'6". Yeah, what's up, Hosty?
It is when you're standing next to a lot of tall people.
5'9" and 7.
I mean, granted, I applaud the fact that they're not doing like the Tom Cruise thing and like giving him lifts or like filming everybody else on like a ramp so he doesn't appear shorter. But yeah, it does. It's like, wow, dude.
Yeah, I almost feel like for Liam's sake, and he kind of just got shoehorned in a bad Witcher series on top of that too. Like,
oh yeah,
you know.
Oh, so wait a minute. This makes sense why he would go after somebody named Tall then.
Oh man, exactly. Oh man,
you walked into that terminal list.
Who's the guy that played Steve Horn in the first season? That Australian guy.
Is that? Oh shoot! What is
Jai Courtney?
I was gonna say, is that Jai Courtney?
Yeah, Jai Courtney should have been. What's this guy's name? What's his name? What's the character's name again? Luke Hemsworth's character. What's his name again?
Oh,
what in The Witcher?
No, here in this show in the terminal.
Landry.
Landry, thank you.
Because
the way Landry is described in the book is more akin to Jai Courtney. So I feel like Jai Courtney probably shouldn't have been cast as Steve Horn at all. Yeah, that is a severe miscast. Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, like, because even wondering if he were to get in shape, right? like toned up,
It wouldn't
it's
make
still
a
the height
difference.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like even if you were, because you can tell he's not a fat guy, it's just the way he's built. He's a little bit wider,
Yeah.
but he just doesn't have like a menacing physique. That's the problem. And the character of Landry, he, like, spoiler alert, he rapes corpses. Okay, that's his shtick. So like I'm not picturing this dude strangling chicks and then raping their corpses. Maybe a sex doll, but
I'm.
Definitely a stocky.
Is it grape if they can't say no?
What is that?
that is
Necrophilia,
really
right?
no-
yeah, that is a good point. Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly consent.
I wonder if they're going to
That's
show
really
that.
messed up, though. It's like, really, this guy. It's
But like
dude.
that's the level of depravity that this character goes to, right? And it's like
My
you look at
gosh.
who they cast in the role, and you're just like, huh?
Yeah. He is an interesting character though, that's for sure in the book. So I'm really curious to see how his character turns out.
Mhm.
I haven't checked because I just maybe have forgotten to, but I haven't looked to see if Luke Hemsworth is in the database for Terminalist season
they've
2.
kept it quiet because I don't think even Tom Hopper is on there. Last I checked, like
Okay,
literally no one's there except for
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the ugly chick that they cast as the reporter, she's coming back for a few episodes. The
Oh.
Chinese one. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a interesting change.
Interesting is a nice way to put that.
I know.
We could have gotten like fucking Ali Larder levels of hot in the terminal list. That's what it could have been.
Yeah. Especially after seeing Ali Larter and Lambent, I'm like,
Right.
ah,
Dude, she was rocking that little dinner dress in season 2, episode 1. Holy shit. It's
oh,
like,
yeah.
damn, Billy Bob, you about to leave wife number 5 for Ali Larder. I would. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was the milkman? For Liam and Chris, right? Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm curious to see what they're actually going to show on the episodes from the book, but who knows? Maybe they can get away with some stuff. Might be gross, but we'll see.
He's not getting away with necrophilia, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Not with that size.
Nope. So I wonder if they'll replace it with something else
I mean,
instead.
hopefully nobody does. But
Yeah. Don't make that a grade at all.
it's like, I hope there's not a, you must be this tall to get away with it. It's like a ride. If you're not this tall, then it's weird.
Or if you're too wide, it's also weird. Yeah. I'd say for maybe Gord, so I know like Vex and I have watched this a couple times.
I have seen this episode a couple of times because I watched it last week thinking we were going to talk about it, so then I watched it again to refresh.
Gotcha. When Haverford walks out and is like, "Yeah, the guy that you want, guy you're looking for, I got him back here." Like, did you mean to go?
Yeah, immediately. It's like, okay, he's the bad guy. Immediately.
Well,
I mean, you're already suspicious of him anyway.
Right.
But if there was any doubt, it's like when he starts doing that, I'm like, he is completely controlling the flow of information here. He is 100% the bad guy. I've seen this trick a million times. But yeah, I was like, okay, and it's not like it's something you're not prepared for mentally. I mean, but so it's not necessarily like a big flaw in the show or something. Again, it undermines the revelation later, but the problem with the revelation later is not even so much that you know from this scene. Because I mean, if you're not somebody who's watched, a bunch of stuff, you might not pick up on it in the scene. But to me, like the revelation's big problem is that it's through the eyes of Tal. It's not, my understanding of media. And knowing from this scene, it's like, oh yeah, he's totally the bad guy. Of course he is.
Yeah, because especially the moment here that Rafe is coming into the picture. So it's like, all right, team's back together minus Tal and Elisa, which, again, like I feel like most people we actually care about, want to see more, are all in this particular scene. So it's like focus we're honed in on this moment here because it is, important as to number one, if we're sus of Haverford, how are our main characters going to react? Like, what are they going to think? Because the entire time they're just like, okay, this feels off. Like, I don't know, I don't buy this. Like, especially after learning who it was that we ambushed, why we ambushed an ally, why did I torture an ally? Now I feel a certain way about everything, that this just feels completely off. A lot of red flags here. So all right, Haverford, you better start talking. Otherwise, like, there's 4 guys in here you ain't gonna take down with your busted ass leg, my dude, in a cane. Especially when you got Chonky Boy, Landry, G Unit, Hastings, wild Ben Edwards here, who's gonna chew your leg off like a wolf. And
I see what you did there.
yeah, Shane. And then Crazy Eye Mo, who's gonna just like, I hear things and I don't sleep at night.
Oh my god, his family, bro.
It's true. Come on. I still hear the screams of my sisters from Saddam Hussein. But remember, he righted his wrong. Anyway,
I'm picturing the in Team America where the lead character has the flashbacks and you hear the gorilla in the background. That's what I'm picturing.
Oh.
That's what you made it sound like.
I didn't even think about that until you mentioned it.
See, this is the kind of stuff you need to inject in like your Landman reviews, so it can be edited in some way.
Yes. Yes. I mean, Billy Bob Thornton does have some crazy ass lines in that show.
Gary, no! I can't. I'm gone.
I wrote this line down from Tommy that he says the mosquitoes are so big they can fuck a turkey flat-footed. I was
Team
like,
America Dark Wolf.
what kind of line is that? No, this is all plot related. It's okay.
I don't know what you're talking about, Salty. This is the show. It is fine. It's like you could clip segments of this and you would have no idea we're talking about Terminalists.
Legit, tomorrow now, I'm gonna get that clip from Team America and just fucking superimpose it over that one shot of Mo from like episode 4.
Wait, when he's in the car?
No, when he's holding the gun at the chick, right?
Oh, the
and
chick.
The camera
Oh, yeah.
just sits on his face.
Yeah.
Gary, no.
That would be a great thing to like superimpose over like any scene in a review where somebody's reliving trauma. Just play that soundbite.
Oh my god, I'm gonna do that actually.
Yep.
That's good.
Oh my god, my stomach hurts.
my cheeks hurt. My cheeks and my face.
I'm writing it down in my notes for like memes to insert into reviews. I'm writing it down.
Yeah, especially when you see it's the brother who was against the plan and realized like this isn't what what he wanted for Iran. But this is what Haverford and the Shepherd want for Iran. Which yeah, right here when Rafe immediately recognizes that this does not sound right. Like there's something really sus going on with how would he have just gotten this guy to begin with? Like, so, I mean, we don't see how the brother, I can't remember this guy's name, was somehow maybe lured here, right? Like, I'm sure it was something, it was obviously something that the Shepherd and Haverford finagled together. Like, you know, okay, you're going to send your brother over here. And then next thing you know, Haverford's, you know, probably obviously knocks him out cold and then ties him up and begins to interrogate him just to create this scene here, this facade. Because it's like, you know, oh, look, I suspect that they're going to come back from the ambush if they've, you know, survived. So I need to make it look like we've caught the guy that's responsible for all this. So it is a way of Haverford, you know, painting this picture, this false narrative of saying, look, I caught the guy who's responsible. But I mean, Rafe and Ben are both smart enough to realize, and I'd probably also say Mo and Landry, but yeah, they understand. They've seen a thing or two, and this ain't it. Which again, the whole call that he makes or allows him to make to, again, make it seem like they're doing the right thing, that this is for their goal and is, you know, meant to be for the good of the plan, for the good of Charlie unit here, and to make them believe what they're doing is the right thing, is obviously all, you know, total BS. And I don't know, like, what, you know, it's funny. I thought that this guy almost looked like a almost kind of looks like Ari Gold, Jeremy Piven. You know what I mean? You know,
I can see it. Yeah, I can
a little
see
bit.
it.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, more Iranian version of maybe a doppelganger to some degree.
An ethnic doppelganger. We'll say.
Yeah. Yeah, especially right here, you know. But yeah, anyway, do you think I mean, it's obviously incredibly messed up for him to sell out his brother like this, because it's like I know this, you have this devious plan to make Iran like nuclear, but I mean, you just sentenced him to death. You just like literally sacrificed your own brother.
Mhm.
And they just watched him, as Rafe points out on the roof, like he was assassinated, right? Like just murdered right here in front of them. Which Ben is, if I correct me if I'm wrong, but Ben was like, okay, yeah, whatever. But Rafe, so like Ben wasn't really bothered by it, but Rafe obviously was, and he was already kind of bothered about what happened prior to that point. So it's like you're kind of stacking up like the cards in for Rafe here to, again, just double down on his choice of leaving. But it's almost like this is also doubling down for Ben to be like, oh no, mission's still going forward. We're still proceeding with the plan. Like, you know, Landry, come on, bud. I lost my brother, but I'm going to replace this tall, handsome guy with you. So, yippee-ki-yay.
Mm-hmm.
But,
The Landry list. That's good.
not to be confused with the laundry list.
Very small laundry.
Not a lot of clothing, especially Rafe.
Old
put us in
Navy for kids. That's where that's kind of laundry you're gonna do.
Yeah.
I think kind of the messed up thing with Ben here, and this is kind of where I think where Rafe sees him going as, and this is what this real credit to Taylor
Night
Kitsch's
Salty.
acting here, is one thing I think he gets across in his performance is that I don't think he really cares if he's being told the truth in this moment. I think he's fine that, because his obsession is just getting answers.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares. I think he's fully aware that he might be getting screwed with. I mean, he wants to believe he's not,
Right.
but he's much more just concerned with getting the answers, and at least somebody in his mind paid for, Liza's death. And I'm like, it is like I said, it's a credit to his performance that he got that across, because it's like it is. It's pretty obvious, even like to Rafe, that something else is going on here. He kind of sees it's like, all right, this guy was just executed in front of us. He's making a statement under duress. How much can you actually trust that? He's basically seeing the pattern, whereas Ben just has tunnel vision at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the plan to make this trade. I mean, they're vastly outnumbered here in this moment, especially when they have to go inside the hangar where there's even more troops, and so this could go horribly wrong if the bearings never hit above 1500, which it's like, were they expecting it not to, and then kind of just be like, oh, sorry, okay, we'll just kind of go on our merry way because it didn't work out? Or
well, I think the idea I think is that the test was not something they were expecting to be present for.
Yeah,
I don't think they were expecting that. Like, because you can kind of see, like, when they bring that out and they're talking about testing it and they go over what it'll mean if it fails, they're kind of looking at each other like, oh crap, this isn't good.
Yeah, this was not part of the plan. Pray I don't alter it any further, but they got lucky, honestly. But also at the same time,
not really. I mean, they got screwed, is what it is.
Well, yeah. I'm saying, like, if it had, because so I mean, like, I'd say maybe the luck part was due.
Yeah, in their mind, they're thinking about, okay, when exactly do we need to take cover?
Right, because
they're thinking this is going to fail and we're going to be in a fight.
Right, Ben keeps looking behind him, like kind of checking his six just to see if there is anyone or what the distance is and what can he do to get out of this pinch here. Right, because this is very unexpected, and even Landry here in this moment's like, oh shit, like this was not part of the plan, and I don't think he's never been in any of these sorts of situations here, but he's definitely getting a nice field test of what it's like. And I think between Mo and Ben, even though they're concerned that things could go completely sideways, they're still maintaining some composure that no one else really picks up on. Like they know, like they can just kind of tell based on their chemistry, their experience with one another. But I mean, I just kind of thinking about if I were in their shoes, what would I do? I think even too in this moment, Mo's looking at Landry going like, relax, stay calm, but be ready. Like we might die here too, if it comes down to it. So yeah, I don't know. It is it's like, well, things could go really, really well, but also this isn't turning out well because we've just delivered Iran and nuclear capabilities here, and it just barely gets over 1500, right? I think it stops at like 1506.
It's a close
whatever.
call. Yeah, very close call.
So maybe lucky isn't the right word. It's like a lose situation. Maybe it's a better choice of words here from myself, but like Ben's finger is really close to that trigger just in case here, and it's obviously ramping up, but and they have no idea, right? They're just like hoping that what they paid for it and was part of the plan actually delivers, because they have this agenda to make a better Iran. And then I do think the line where the ambassador, right, he says to Ben, I would have asked for a higher price
for betraying your country,
as an American. Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And which I don't remember what the price was. I don't know if did they ever mention what the price was for this?
They didn't, but like it wasn't anything in like the millions of dollars. It was like a couple $100,000 if that's what Haverford was alluding to in the first or second episode.
Yeah, it was like, I don't remember it being like an absorbent amount of money that it's like, okay, well, we split this, we're all getting like, tens of millions of dollars of pop or something like that, where like it does make sense so that we can, you know, rebel against the country and go rogue and live somewhere else around the world and be comfortable, right? But it's, you know, really interesting. And I was like, maybe that's a thinking point for Ben, like in bit of a wake up call. Maybe it's also kind of a part of what Rafe had said to him might have just kind of been lingering in his mind in an afterthought, and maybe started to kind of seep through once he started to see more and maybe have a, you know, an insult too, because obviously we know Ben loves his country. He you know, has served for his country. He's lost men for his country. So it's like, to be
He's
told,
lost 3 wives now.
he's lost 3 wives, right? You know, so it is, you know, again, it's this transformation of Ben kind of not being this protector anymore and kind of going rogue. And I mean, this whole part is just brutal. Especially when Ben has that machine gun and just emptying the entire magazine into this fish in a barrel, I think Landry says. So I think the cockiness too that Haverford and the Sheppard have too, like we've successfully pulled this off. You know, we played our unit, and I think again it's for the sake of Haverford, right? And this goes back to him being complacent, maybe a little ignorant too, on a surprising level, because of Tal and him not tying that loose end up, and
Maybe.
like him not thinking like she'll never figure it out, like, you know. And I think, and maybe that is a bit of naivete on his part, like thinking that maybe she's not that good, or that she would have listened to her command and already been on transit back home. So she really can't do anything. But same thing, if she would have had the laptop and been able to decipher and decrypt, you know, the IP and look at the time stamps at that point and see, you know, where these calls are coming from, down to the point where, hey, I can hack into your home security system and see you chatting with the guy I worked half a job for, you know. So again, I think if Haverford would have tied that loose end up, they never know. That plane sails off maybe still with those good bearings. So again, and I don't know what that would have really done beyond that, but maybe that could have been a plot in for season 2, maybe. But yeah, here it is.
I think Haverford's done as a character, as far as seasons go. In my opinion, at least. There's nothing to really revisit there.
Yeah. And the Sheppard is alive. Cyrus Rahimi do not trust Haverford. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, what's the plan, guys? Fish in a barrel time.
Mm-hmm.
Mo's hearing the voices at this moment.
Gary, no!
trying to silence them. That'd be another good shot there, Vex. But yeah,
Like overlap, you could like overlap like the Mozart's Requiem mass over it. Just
what's up, Shield-Ball? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I mean, Haverford has been getting away with this crap for like over 30 years at this point, right? Yeah, and and maybe because he's been getting away with it for so long, he's just that maybe is some complacency.
I don't think it's
Cockiness.
complacency. I think, yeah, it's a mixture of cockiness, and because he's been getting away with it so long and having the right contacts, that it's like, it's not that, like, first of all, he kind of resolves what happens to the team, but second of all, it's like, who's gonna believe him with the clout he has, sort of deal, right? Like, he's been trustworthy to all the right people for so long.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and especially after this point, right? Like after he hears the phone call and realizes what's happening, he's like, all right, I got to get back to my computer and type up this nasty little email here that is going to put all 4 of these guys here
Mhm.
on a hit list, right? So, it's exactly that. But also I can't trust this man because he is no good. So, again, pretty brutal scene. No one
Great
lives,
scene.
but yeah,
Mhm.
great. Just they emptied everything
Good song
they
choice
had.
too.
Yeah, it's nice to hear when
Good
good
music.
song choices are applied to shows, right?
I mean,
Mm.
granted, it was. I'm not aware of any situation where you're just dropping a lot of sheep at once, but still, it sounded good.
Excuse me. Yeah, had this been Alien Earth, we probably would have gotten like I don't know, like No Doubt or something like that played over this. Like it's just something that does not fit. Yeah, choir, the choir over this part.
That playing over this scene.
Oh gosh.
And then you could overlook the trauma over it.
Yeah.
Triple whammy.
Yes.
Oh jeez. I love the plane is not bulletproof like you see cars in so many movies. Yeah, exactly. It's just a nice touch, nice details to this, and the fact that this guy is still alive, and I mean you've got again, I don't want to be on the nose, but you've got like a wolf looking down on its prey here that it just killed and is about to mutilate it a little bit further
On his caribou.
Yeah, nice.
A
nice
wolf
effect.
actually might hunt a caribou. That actually might work.
Yeah. When he put his gun on his arm here, I'm like, oh no. Oh yeah. Just
You
proceed.
basically he shoots him like several times and he cuts his. I was like, oh, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah. The fact that he shoots it just to create, an opening,
Just to loosen it up.
a bit. It's like let the weight of the briefcase kind of just start dragging the handcuff down as it's starting to get severed, and then all of a sudden he's like, hold on.
Sheppard's like, this
Ching.
is the worst TikTok I've ever seen.
I mean, yeah, look at that. That's that's the last thing this guy saw in his last breath.
Mm-hmm.
My hand getting removed from my body.
I'm gonna need a hand. And then he dies.
Yeah, good. Good prosthetics here, though. I think too.
Yeah,
You can tell.
I appreciate that. Like the blood was like kind of spilling out over a nice little period of time. I was like, yeah, it's a nice little gory effect there.
Yeah. It's like let's make this realistic to a certain point, right? And but yeah, R.I.P. But yeah, this look that he has, there's that I feel like that's a piece of Ben Edwards that has completely turned over. Again, like no remorse whatsoever. Like he is fully, I don't know. If you'd say like he's enjoying this moment, but he's obviously super pissed, right? Like he's just over this whole thing, because again, like this is more betrayal. He got played, and I don't know if he's thinking that maybe Ben or maybe Rafe was right here. Maybe I should have left, because then I wouldn't have had to have taken any part of this. Like, what would have Haverford done if the entire team left, right? If Ben leaves with Rafe, and then Mo's like, if Rafe and Ben are leaving, I'm out too. And then you damn well know that Landry ain't going to complete this by himself. So who's going to deliver the bearings? They could have just left. It's like kind of like walking away from a fight. I don't know what you guys think about that, but that would have been a solution. That's like the Rafe Hastings solution. Just walk away and get the kill later. I'll hunt him down with my rifle and then out about 100 yards out from the plane. You can't see him. I'd be like a lion hunting caribou that I've done from age 5.
Yeah, I like them going onto the boat. I was like, no, don't do that. I mean,
I was expecting the bomb, honestly, to go off. I'm like,
well,
oh,
Landry even like
God.
said, fine, let's go get blown up, I guess. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
If you actually believe there's a chance he's in there, you might send one in, or even like, I don't know, throw some gas in there or something like that. There's a number of
Something.
things you can do to lure him out. You can wait him out. You could, like I said, send one, gas him out. It's like there's a number of ways you approach
flashbang,
this
something.
rather than just going in and risking your lives like that. It's like that's not the best idea.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Jacob? How you doing, buddy? Hope you had a good show
Because it's
tonight.
like you're actually kind of right. He could blow you all up.
Yeah. What's up, peepers? Even though you had a little hiccup. Oh, is that for Jacob? Sorry. Yeah, and then just reading this, right? Please be advised of a mission conducted by rogue operators, right? Classified cable Mosul mission. I mean, it's like if you needed any more confirmation here, right? You know that Haverford is the guy we thought he was. Unbeknownst to me, helped in nuclear capability, responsible for the death of Allied forces. They've allowed Iran to achieve nuclear, what does it say? Nuclear something or other. But anyway, yeah, Ben, Mo, Landry, Rafe. I forgot his name was Jules too until I saw this again. But
It's Jules Landry.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and it's son of a bitch. You set me up, set them up. But yep. So new plan. Right. It's everything kind of going wrong for them. But yeah. Now what do they do? Dun dun dun. And then yeah, friendly. It's like she's still here. God. What if like they actually turned around, I accidentally and like shot her? It's like, is it is it
Caribou.
Haverford? Ah, caribou. Just go back home already. Jeez. But yeah, it's pretty much the end of the episode. So, and we'll see what happens in the finale.
Like honestly, yeah, to me, then like I said, going into the boat, I think it's very clunky because it's like the whole point of them going onto the boat is so they can find out about the email. To me, that's what you use Tall for, is so she lets them know he has contacted his superiors and there's a hit out. It's like they've basically, you know, there's now going to be you're all wanted men. Like he's pinning all of this on you, which granted, that's something they could probably figure out on their own anyway. But I mean, you don't need her to actually be, you know, on the boat with them because there's a lot of questions about like the amount of traveling around that's done in this particular time frame, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, why? I mean, I don't know. Would she know where the boat is? Maybe she would. I mean, she's been on that team a little bit longer, so maybe she would. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't think you need her in the scene. I don't think they need to go on the boat. She could contact them and say, you need to get away from there. Don't pursue him. You're all wanted now. He's pinning all of this on you. Just, you need to get out of there. Those bearings are your leverage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you could have done this Mission Impossible style. You send Tal goes in, reads the message, sends it over to Ben in team again, like she did with revealing who the Sheppard was in the first place. And then you just hear, this message will self-destruct in 5 seconds, and the whole boat blows up. It's like, all right, well, we're not a characters here, but it's fine. You know, and I wondered too, because Haverford is the real king, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So even though Ben says even pawns can take out kings, which is true in the game of chess, Yusuf was more like a bishop or a rook, right? Like he wasn't the main piece on the board here. Like it, yeah, you shot out of the plane, you killed a bunch of soldiers, you got the bearings now, but the king is still on the board, and he just kind of puts you in check So how are you going to respond? You continue to run around the board, being the only pawn left. That's they're going to throw, whatever the other pieces in the puzzle pieces on the board that they can, which we see what happens in the finale, which is amazing. But yeah, going to be excited to see what Gord especially has to say about the finale. So I'm just looking forward to watching that finale again because it's great overall.
Nice.
So figure we'll go through like closing thoughts here of the episode and anything else you guys want to mention or maybe just like a rating perhaps maybe.
Sure. Yeah, I think this is it's a pretty strong episode. Very cool. Not last scene, but I guess penultimate scene where you have the runway battle that was pretty dang good. It has some issues, has some holes, some logical problems here and there, and I can't say they're small ones either. I mean, they do sting it a bit. So like objectively, I'd still say it's pretty good. So I'd probably go 7.5 Rhodesian caribou out of 10.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Vex, what about you? What do you think?
I give this episode 8.5 bloody Taylor Kish in his boxers out of 10. This is a really good episode. The tall stuff, it just leaves too many open ends. Love the stuff with Rafe. I like that he and Ben have that confrontation. I like that we get a little bit of the moral kind of diversity amongst the characters as well. And it's a good, like the end of this episode is a really good setup for where like the final episode of the season ends up going. So yeah, I like Tall's really the only thing that brings it down because it just feels like run time is genuinely wasted on her in this episode that could have very easily been given to Ben or Rafe or both of them together.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Good points. Yeah, and just as my closing thoughts, I mean, I agree with both of your sentiments about this episode overall. Wasted time on Tal. Could have been done a lot differently. Removed entirely, of course. Her character and what she does and what she's used as a plot device, definitely ruins part of this episode too. And the reveal and like the thrill of everything that sort of led up to this moment. I think it still is a good penultimate episode overall. For the prelude to what we see in the finale, of course. Great chemistry per usual between Tom Hopper and Taylor Kish. And just again that just emphasizes the longing and desire to see more of Ben Edwards and Rafe Hastings. Because it's a short season to begin with, 7 episodes, and we don't even really see them interact in all 7 episodes. So it is one of those moments where like time is of the essence, and it is a thing that I think would have just made the show even stronger than it already is by having those 2 characters involved a lot more, or even again like Mo. I mean, I think again Haverford fully revealing himself and who he is a worthwhile moment. It obviously confirms a lot of what we'd already suspected a while ago. And again, maybe like the normal person might not have seen that coming, much like to your point, Gord, earlier on. Like if you haven't seen a lot of movies or characters that might act like him, you might not have known he would do this. You might have known that the Cyrus's brother that's got lured in and then assassinated while he was locked up. That it is not the Sheppard, but is meant to appear to be the Sheppard. Let's proceed with these fake variants that still in turn actually work. So the lie is deep. But it's a good themes in this episode again with moral codes and obviously compasses, no pun intended. But just the tampering of people's identities with Rafe and Ben especially, and like just seeing how the brotherhood that they have, and it's such an important thing, and it's such an important masculine thing too, is severed, is fractured. But as we kind of alluded to, the fact that Rafe can still be this guardian angel, where Ben is kind of starting to fall off, and is still wondering who he is, because he's lost people, been betrayed, lost women. So, gluing himself together in his boxers, so Ben's been through a lot of shit in this episode up to this point. Like, almost died. He's been shot at numerous times. Got his trident ripped off. Barely made it out of a car bomb. Got ambushed in the streets of Germany. So it's like, man, obviously you can't kill him, but the fact that you put this character through so much, and it's just sort of like the wear and tear on his mental, it makes sense to a certain extent of what he's had to deal with based on the type of character that he is, which is, the opposite of what Rafe is, displayed to Ben himself. Because he's not a coward by any means, and again, he let Ben have that one. Otherwise, I think he might have thrown Ben off the ship at that point, and said, "I know you can swim, but come back up here, and I'm gonna throw you off again. I might punch you off." At that point, like, I want to see an angry Rafe. Like, what does that really look like? Because I mean, we haven't seen that yet.
We haven't, no.
So it's like, well, I want to see Tom Hopper get like riled
Fury.
up
With the fury.
the fury, the Rhodesian fury, like when I hunted caribou when I was 5 years old. So
I did my first finger painting in caribou blood.
What's the stuff? Oh God, he used to torture the dude with.
Lie?
Lie, yeah. He goes, I used to eat lie for breakfast. On my caribou steak.
I used to season my cornflakes with lye. And I use caribou blood for
Salt,
milk.
that's for pussies. I use lye. The show that called me white boy in Africa. Lye has no effect on me. I built up a tolerance since I was 5 years old. My uncle is that kind of man, yes.
Edward Norton in Fight Club is a massive pussy.
Oh man. I'm gonna give this episode I was thinking like 8.5. Severed hands delivered by Ben Edwards. So
Nice.
yeah, that'll do it for the coverage of episode 6 of Dark Wolf Pawns and Kings. Next week we'll be going over the season finale of Dark Wolf, so you won't want to miss that. That'll be a good one to talk about. I think Gucci Gooch should be here for that one. So be sure to tune in. If you're watching this on a replay, drop a comment in the video. Tell me what you thought about the characters, maybe certain parts of this episode. Did you find Ben Edwards attractive in his boxers as he's pulling out a metal shard and pouring alcohol and glue on it? So what do you think about Rafe and the moral compass that he is?
Do you think there should be a height requirement for necrophilia?
That too.
Leave your thoughts. Subscribe to my Patreon.
I am curious, and no, I'm not going to narc on you. Yeah, if you're watching this, go follow Papa Pumpkin and Vex. Their links to their channels are in the description below. They make great content, and they're always great here to have on the panel with me, of course. Thank you both for being here. Thank you for everyone that's been in the chat contributing. You guys rock as always. Gord, do you want to tell the people what you got going on for the rest of the week?
I guess I'll be on Nance on Sunday, and I am currently working on my Rings of Power episode 3 video.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Vex, what about
I'm
you?
also 5 subscribers away from hitting the same number of subscribers I had on the previous movie channel, so
nice.
I think I'm managed to match that in like 3 months.
I think I'm like 4 from 800, so,
Nice.
Who are those 4 masculine people that are going to hit that damn subscribe button? It's free, people. Come on. I'll sick Rafe Hastings on you.
Wait,
I'll hunt you
people might
down.
like that. Hold on. People
Oh,
might
true.
like that.
I'll sick Landry on you. No telling what he's going to do. So
Landry
just-
loves him some Biden voters.
There's some ice cream. Bex, what you got going on this week?
Might stream some point. I don't know. A lot of people were upset at me with my Predator Badlands video last week, so
Aw,
might just
poor
just
people.
do a stream responding to all of those comments.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah. Other than that, like the Sunday stream is coming back hopefully this weekend. So
Nice.
yeah, that's and I'm working on another video. It's I gotta get all this other shit done first.
Gotcha. Good luck to your internet, Waylon. May it recover from the retardation. As for myself, tomorrow I will probably be on Zach's stream talking about movies and which years are better from a movie battle. I'll be on Diabolical Souls late night streams, midnight EST next couple nights. And then I might be on Niat's stream Sunday on Film Comics Explained. Not sure yet. Depends if I go out of town. But then Monday nights here on the channel, 9 p.m. Eastern, we are talking about Gangs of New York for Masculine Mondays. And then I said next Tuesday, season finale of Dark Wolf. And that's all we wrote. So
Nice.
I appreciate everyone watching. And we will see you guys later. I don't know who we can raid into. Let's see here. Let me see who's rating, who's streaming right now, and let you guys decide who it is that might be worth.
Nadia, Brawler are the 2 that I know. They're streaming right now.
Brawler would be a good one because that's at least on brand for what we just discussed.
Yeah, they're talking Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh. Okay, hang on a
Mhm.
second here. Let me type in his name. What's in a name? So while we're just kind of rambling on here at the end, Gord, you have not watched the finale yet, right?
Nope,
Gotcha.
not all the
Okay.
way through. I've watched part of it.
Gotcha. How far have you gotten?
20-ish minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Where the hell is his stream? You know, you try to raid into channels and it's just not working for some reason.
Do you need the link? I can post the link in the private.
He's live. Okay, he is live.
Yeah, he's live right now.
Okay, yeah. I just put up his. Oh, Leon's on there.
Yeah. It needs some masculinity.
Have they put Leon on there? Just kidding.
No, I'm just saying that's what the raid's gonna be for.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, now it popped up. I don't know why it wasn't popping up before. Weird. Okay, cool. We're gonna raid Box Office Baller. Just put like a bunch of biceps in there or something like that. You know, he'll know what that means. So, bye guys.
No.